everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Christine. Today I just want to talk to you about honing your energy healing skills and your intuitive skills, especially after you've completed level 1 Reiki. A little bit about myself. I've been practicing Reiki for the last 3 years. I'm a certified master Reiki practitioner, and I'm trained in level 3 Reiki in Usui, Holy Fire, and Karuna Reiki as well. I've spent the last several years reading a ton of books on energy healing, and today I want to share with you some tips that I've learned. So when I first finished level 1 Reiki, I loved it. I went home and I did what the teacher told me to do. I practiced Reiki on myself for the next 30 days. I did it consistently. And then I was kind of left feeling like, what am I supposed to do next? I know I can eventually practice on other people, but I just wasn't sure, where I was supposed to go from there after my level 1 before going on my level 2 Reiki course. So now that I have a bit more experience and have practiced on several clients myself, I just want to share with you 3 tips that I've learned that have really helped with my practice, and 3 things you can do to help you after you finish your level 1 Reiki. So the first tip I want to share with you is practicing seeing the aura, the energy field around people, animals, crystals, and even plants. This skill can really help own your ability to see the energy fields around people to further your energy healing practice. Now, I first started at home looking at plants. What I would do is, I'm going to take this crystal as an example, firstly, I want to make sure that the lighting and my environment is pretty soft and kind of low lighting, not too harsh. If it's too harsh, it's a little bit more difficult to see the aura. So what you can do is, you can take this crystal here. You don't have to hold it close or anything, but just visualize like an aura or an energy field about maybe 1 or 2 inches above or surrounding the crystal. And you can notice the texture of the energy field or aura. Notice if you might see some colors or maybe a texture, if it's maybe kind of feeling wispy or feeling kind of like a foggy kind of aura. And you might want to rest your eyes in between practices, kind of close your eyes so you don't strain your eyes too much, and then kind of go back to it, visualizing the aura. And you can also do this with, like I said, I've practiced with plants, and then you can kind of see how your own energy, your aura, can also affect the energy and aura of plants. So you can kind of play with it, and once you've kind of visualized the border using your imagination. At first it will take using your imagination to, your brain needs to kind of just come up with an energy field and imagine any colors. Your imagination is key here. And you can, once you see it, you can see how your own energy field affects it. And sometimes you might not even see it right away, but you can feel it. You can feel the energy on your fingertips and see if you can visualize over time how it affects it. Okay, so that's the first thing that I recommend to practice, and this will take some time as well. I've been practicing for a bit, about like half a year now, and I'm continuing to practice it, and this will come in handy again when you're trying to visualize the aura around your clients. Also to see if there are any blockages in the aura of your client as well. Okay, my second tip is practicing being psychic. Now, I know that word has a lot of baggage to it, but you don't have to use the word psychic. You can sub it with practicing being an intuitive for a day. But what matters is that you need to practice this skill because energy healing has a lot to do with trusting your intuition and developing your intuitive psychic abilities. Now, one trick I learned is from Sonia Kashuk. I think I'm pronouncing her name right. She's French, and you can actually find her YouTube channel as well. And she recommended in her book, so for 1 day a week, just pretend as if you're psychic for that 1 day. And you might wanna, wear special clothing that day that makes you feel extra intuitive, or wear like your crystal necklace if you feel like it. But what's important is you start your morning just kind of tuning into the day. You might want to, I usually do this after I eat my breakfast, and I kind of just sit at the table there and kind of relax into it and just letting my focus kind of tune into the day and see if anything comes up. If you know you're going to the bank, you might want to, predict or practice feeling into the bank teller. Maybe they're wearing a pink blazer that day. Or maybe if you're going to the grocery store, you might want to tune in and pick up if there's anything that comes to mind. Maybe you're going to bump into an old high school friend that day. Who knows? But you're gonna write down 3 things that you think might happen that day. And again, this is just a game. There's no pressure. As you do this, sometimes you're gonna get some things right, and sometimes you're gonna get things wrong. When you get things right, it's just another little bit of confidence for yourself in trusting your intuition. And if you don't get it right, then no big deal. It's just a game. And that's the key to this practice. That is, it is a game where you practice being psychic. And when you first start doing this, you might start to hear this little nagging voice telling you, this is really silly, I'm not psychic, so why would I be doing this? Now, it's good to catch this because this is your ego talking here. This is your ego talking, and this is a great opportunity to differentiate that your intuitive messages are often subtle and quiet, where when it's your ego, it's often a lot louder. So that's something you can also practice in differing. And over time, this will just feel like a really fun game. Okay? All right, on to the third tip. All right, and the third tip that I want to give you is to get intimately familiar with the energy system. I think it's very crucial for an energy healer or Reiki master or Reiki practitioner to understand the energy centers of our body. Now, I know a lot of you are probably familiar with the 7 chakras, but as you know, there are much more than that. And I think it's important to at least know 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 energy centers as well. I think it's important to understand the color, the body in which it's located, the organs that are associated with the chakra, and also I think it's important to know the tone and frequency as well, especially if you are doing sound energy healing. Those are all very important, especially when you start working with other people. So for example, a client, this is pretty common, but a lot of people work on emotional issues that oftentimes are associated with intergenerational trauma. And when you are working with intergenerational trauma, you want to look at the 10th chakra as well. The 10th chakra, located about, maybe a foot below your foot, in that kind of area, and is associated with your bone marrows, develops from your environment. So that is any kind of the physical environment, but also your family as well counts as that environment. And so if you are working with someone dealing with generational trauma, you might want to work on the 10th and 2nd chakra as well, the sacral chakra. And a book I highly recommend is the Cindy Dale healing, I'll put it on the screen, but the Cindy Dale energy healing book, I highly recommend. I learned so much from this book. The first part of the book is quite dense, and especially if you know a lot about biology already, you can skip, but the latter part is a great resource for energy healing and getting very familiar with the chakras. And the last thing I want to mention to you are some of the books that really helped me in my energy healing practice. The first book that I want to recommend is this book by Sonia Kashuk. I mentioned her earlier in this video. This book, The Psychic Pathway, was really helpful for me in gaining my own trust in my intuition. It's like a weekly workbook in which I think there's 6 weeks that you go through in practicing your intuition and psychic abilities. Highly recommend this one. And then this one I dropped. This one is a bit of a heavier read because of some of the stories in there are quite real and it can be triggering for some, but this one is The Anatomy of the Spirit by Caroline Myss. Loved this book. This one, this one really helped me hone in my practice and understanding emotionally of how each chakra really affects a person's life. This one focuses just on the 7 chakras. And then the last book that I want to mention is the Cindy Dale book, and I remember the name now. It's Energy Healing for Trauma and Chronic Stress as well by Cindy Dale. Love, love, love that book. That book is the book that taught me also about the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th and 12th chakras, and it was just really eye-opening reading that book. The first half is very biology heavy, and if you're already like a health practitioner, you might want to skip the first part, and the latter half really gets into the nitty-gritty of energy healing. So those are the 3 book recommendations I have for you. And now, if you want to learn more about Reiki or experience a Reiki session with myself, I'm offering virtual Reiki sessions. You can click the website, you can check out my website down below. And if you live in Vancouver, BC, in the Lower Mainland, you can schedule an in-person session with myself as well. Thanks so much for your time, everyone. I really appreciate you watching this whole video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow? Yeah, please like and subscribe. I think that's it. Please like and subscribe. Oh yes, comment. That's what people say. And comment down below if you have any questions about Reiki. I'll do my best to answer them. And thank you again, and I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Bye.